President al-Assad to Colonel Mohammed Sabha, commander of the group of Syrian soldiers who were in Jisr al-Shughour hospital, says, "Your heroics are an expression of every soldier in the Syrian Army. You know neither defeat nor surrender." The garrison of Jisr al-Shughour affirms determination to press ahead with the battle against terrorism. Saudi warplanes destroy more schools, hospitals and infrastructure in Yemen. Good afternoon. This is news in English from the Syrian Army television in Damascus. And our first news is that President Bashar al-Assad made a call with Colonel Mohammed Sabha, the commander of the group of Syrian army soldiers who were in Jisr al-Shughour hospital and the garrison of the hospital. President al-Assad told Colonel Sabha, "Your heroic actions are an expression of every soldier in the Syrian army. You held your ground and stood fast because you know neither defeat nor surrender." His Excellency added, "Your faith in God and your confidence that your colleagues in the Syrian Army are coming to break the siege imposed on you are an indicator of the nature of this army, its conviction and its faith in itself and in its members and their heroics." The President went on to say, "Your lives and the lives of every soldier in the Syrian Army and Popular Defense Forces always have been and always will be our foremost consideration, and we always seek to protect them." His Excellency stressed that the heroic acts of the soldiers and how they helped evacuate their wounded colleagues will show the world the morale and principles of the Syrian Army. President al-Assad asked God to have mercy on the souls of the martyrs from the hospital, the martyrs who fell during the operation to break the siege, which had been imposed on the hospital for almost a month, and all the martyrs of the Syrian Army who died to defend Syria, wishing full recovery to the wounded soldiers. His Excellency concluded, "I salute you and salute every soldier defending Syria's soil." For his part, Colonel Sabha saluted President Assad and thanked him on behalf of himself and the soldiers from the hospital for his concern over them and their conditions. He also thanked all the brothers in arms and all those who supported him and his colleagues and gave them morale while they were standing fast in the face of terrorists. In a telephone call with Syrian Arab television, the commander of the group of Syrian Arab soldiers who were in Jisr al-Shughour hospital, Colonel Mohammed Sabha, affirmed that President al-Assad's call is a great honor, stressing that His Excellency is defending the banner of honor and right in the world as a whole and not only in Syria. The soldiers who were besieged in Jisr al-Shughour hospital arrived in Latakia amid official and popular welcome. Earlier, the soldiers in the National Hospital in Jisr al-Shughour city and Idlib managed to break the siege imposed by Jabhat al-Nusra since late April. In an operation coordinated with airstrikes and artillery firing, the soldiers have been freed and left the hospital, carried their dead or injured fellow members and headed to army posts in Idlib countryside. In Hasaka, to the northeast of Syria, army units in cooperation with national defense groups established full control on Tel Barud village in the western countryside of the city and al-Shaddadi crosspoint, eliminating scores of terrorists and destroying their weapons. The Syrian army also foiled an attempt by Jabhat al-Nusra terrorist organization to attack on military points in Khan al-Sheikh farms and al-Husayniya village in Damascus countryside, killing many terrorists and injuring others. Meanwhile, a unit of the Syrian army killed scores of ISIS terrorists in Kafr Shams town in the countryside of Daraa province. Iraqi forces restored control over al-Khalidiyya city to the east of Ramadi in al-Anbar governorate. Iraqi Minister of Defense Khalid al-Ubaidi, who was inspecting Iraqi soldiers stationed at al-Habbaniya and al-Khalidiyya in al-Anbar, stressed that priority would be given to liberating al-Anbar and foiling ISIS attempts. Al-Saud warplanes continue to launch airstrikes against the Yemeni capital Sana'a, targeting the air defense camp, the Republican Guard School, and Brigades 62 and 63. The Saudi airstrikes also targeted Saada and Houja city, killing 5 citizens. Meanwhile, 13 people were wounded, 2 of them in a critical condition as a result of a bomb explosion in a mosque in Sana'a. ISIS terrorist organization announced responsibility for the attack. The Syrian Transport and Tourism Company, in cooperation with Damascus University, will organize a tourist scientific trip in some of the archaeological sites in the provinces of Homs, Latakia and Tartus. The goal behind the trip is activating internal tourism between the provinces. The trip will be launched in front of the National Museum in Damascus, and it will include visiting Crac de Chevalier in Homs and archaeological sites in Ogarit in Latakia, Tartus Museum and Amrit archaeological site. Figures specialized in the tourist sector will take part in the trip, in addition to professors and students from the tourism faculty. Earlier in the beginning of the current month, the Syrian Company for Transportation and Tourism launched the Syrian Tourism Festival Syria 2015. With this, we conclude our news for today. Thank you for watching. For more details about Syria and the region, and to view this bulletin again, you can always visit our website in English, www.syriaonline.sy. Now the latest business and market news with Nani Man, but after a short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Health Minister Dr. Nizar Yazagi said that the health sector in Syria had achieved remarkable developments in health indicators prior to the crisis, particularly in maternal and child health care. Minister Yazagi, who heads Syria's delegation to the 68th session of the World Health Assembly at the United Nations headquarters in Geneva, pointed out in a speech that Syria achieved self-sufficiency in domestically produced medicines, citing 70 domestic pharmaceutical factories which cover 93% of the local market needs. He added that Syria exports medicine to as many as 58 countries, while imports are limited to some quality drugs and vaccines. Yazagi indicated that the global war against Syria gravely impacted the health sector. As he said, 33 out of 133 hospitals have become dysfunctional. 202 people of the health staff were killed and another 142 injured during the crisis due to the terrorist attacks against health centers and establishments. The minister clarified that the unfair economic sanctions imposed on the Syrians have increased their suffering and left a negative impact on the health sector, adding that Syrian government has spared no effort to meet the citizens' needs against tough odds through enhancing cooperation with friendly countries and industrial organizations such as the WHO. Aleppo Governor Mohammed Marwan Ulabi affirmed that, contrary to media claims, Sheikh Najjar Industrial City in Aleppo is completely safe due to the steadfastness of the Syrian Army, internal security forces and the people of Aleppo. During his visit on Friday to factories and industrial establishments in the city, the governor pointed out that the fabrications broadcasted by media outlets about terrorists entering the third area of the city came in the framework of the systematic war on the Syrian economy and industry. The industrial facilities in Sheikh Najjar Industrial City are working on holidays, which the minister said is the best way to refute media lies and fabrications. The governor also met a number of industrialists and workers, stressing that the governorate is interested in providing all requirements of the industrial city. The governors visited a number of military checkpoints in the city where the soldiers vowed to protect the industrial city against any terrorist attacks. The Minister of Economy and Foreign Trade, Dr. Hammam al-Jazairi, underlined the need to protect the domestic industry as it provides job opportunities and foreign currencies to the treasury of the state and good tax revenues. The minister pointed out that the economic policy forces and faces some challenges, which requires the protection of national industry, calling on the food producers to achieve the equation of logical prices and high quality, especially in the upcoming month of Ramadan. Iraq's oil exports rose to high records this month and reached more than 3 million barrels per day since the beginning of May, in accordance to load ships data, a matter that keeps Iraq as the second largest producer within OPEC, as shipping data indicated that the southern ports of Iraq's exports reached 2.55 million barrels per day on average in the first 21 days of May. According to load ships and sources in the oil sector, the total of Iraq exports stood at 3,050,000 barrels per day since the beginning of May. And now over to some main currencies exchange rates according to the bulletin of the Central Bank of Syria. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our economic news for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.